this one, quite aside from the kind of political and strategic incoherence of it, I think they're mad. And I suppose the first thing to say about it is it just feels like it's another example of where they don't have a plan. How can they be having such an unjoined up conversation? And we see this in terms of their growth agenda, where they take all kinds of anti-growth moves, for example, particularly in immigration, where they're kind of casual about the threats to our universities. Which again, if you've got any kind of growth agenda, you have to be serious about supporting universities. On this one, quite aside from the kind of political and strategic incoherence of it, I think they're mad. I mean, and the reason I say that is that actually one of the things you learn in local government, and you learn generally, is how joined up these problems are. They've just asked, another example, they've just asked the NHS to reorganise onto combined authority footprints. Okay. And then they've got which is complicated and expensive and is knocking over NHS capacity at the same time. And then they're saying that maybe the police will move to different footprints. And actually there's a real logic. It's one of the things I was most interested in about the mayoral role. There's a real logic to this joined up approach. When you're talking about, for the sake of homelessness or something, and drugs, they're all really closely related. The NHS is NHS, the drug services, the housing authorities, the police, they're all dealing in different ways with a particular group of people who have some particular problems that need to be addressed. And actually having structures which enable a joined up approach is a good thing in that particular case. If you're talking about young people and antisocial behaviour, then having local authorities and the police and the mayor all able to address things in the same way is helpful. And similarly, one thing that's putting huge pressure on the police at the moment is mental health. And they're spending a lot of their time dealing with mental health crisis. And again, you finally got to the point where you have your police on the same footprint as the NHS, as local authorities, and all that we do for public mental health. And then suddenly you say, oh no, we're going to change it again. I just think it's completely mad.
Follow or subscribe for more.